Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Juan from Just One Reader, and today we are doing the mid-year book Freakout tag. But before I get started with the tag, I just wanted to say a quick but wonderful thank you to Conrad from The Deckled Edge because he gave me a shout out on his most recent video, which is a 4,000 subscribers celebration and booktuber shout out. And he mentioned me and I was incredibly honored. It means so much to me. Just all your nice words, Conrad, they mean so much to me. I deeply thank you. I'm really excited that some more people have subscribed to my channel. I am really looking forward to communicate more with bookish people and people from the bookish community. So thank you very much. You are extremely kind and beyond nice, and I couldn't thank you enough. So let's get on with the mid-year book Freakout tag. So question number one is, what is the best book that you've read so far in 2016? And that is Magic for Beginners by Kelly Link. This is a collection of short stories, really powerful, dark, funny, gritty, just completely my style. I adored it. And a very close contender, I believe, is The Rabbitback Literature Society by Posil Mara-Jääskeläinen. I adored it. The second question is, what is the best sequel that you've read so far this year? And that is The Reptile Room by Lemony Snicket. This is the second book in the series of unfortunate events. This is one of the only sequels I've read this year, I believe. And it was a reread for me. I adore the series, and this one was actually better than the first one, in my opinion, which is rare for a sequel. Question 3 is new release that you haven't read yet but want to. And these are relatively new and I am dying to gobble them up. And one of them is Arcadia by Ian Pierce, and the other one is Sons and Daughters of Ease and Plenty by Ramona Ossibel. Question 4 is, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? And it obviously is The Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling and the illustrated Jim Kay edition of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Question 5 is, what is your biggest disappointment that you've read this year? And I have 3 books that I was really looking forward to, and they were books that I tried to make myself love and I just couldn't. So the first one, which I gave about 1 star to, was The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. I hated this book. I thought it was really cheap, not at all what I was looking for, and yeah, just not my type of book at all. Another one that I thought I was really going to love, and I tried to force myself to love, but just, no, I couldn't do it, was Our Endless Numbered Days by Claire Fuller. From the 3 books that I am sharing right now, this is probably the one that I enjoyed the most, but it was still very disappointing. And the last one was The Light Tree by Frances Harding. This was my biggest disappointment out of all the 3 because it was the book, one of the books that I had the highest expectations for, and I just didn't like it. I gave it 2.5 stars just because the writing was good and atmospheric, and the use of language was actually quite nice, but the story and no, I didn't like it. The beginning was good, but that was about it. Question 6 is, what has been your biggest surprise this year? And that has to be The New and Improved Romy Fudge by Julia Elliott. This book is unique and it is definitely a surprise. That's all I'm gonna say. Question 7 is, what is your favorite new author? It can be a debut author or an author that is new to you. And I chose Kelly Link because reading Magic for Beginners definitely made me want to read more of her work. But I also chose Ramona Ossibel because I read A Guide to Being Born, her collection of short stories, and I loved her writing style. I thought it was pure gold, simple, concise, poetic, beautiful. And I think if I had to give an award to my new favorite author in terms of writing style, it would be Ramona Ossibel. Question 8 is, what is your newest fictional crush? This was so difficult to answer, so I'm just going to change it to what is a character that you would like to be, and I chose Richard Gansey III, also known as Gansey from The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. He is such a wonderful, mysterious, preppy, cool, dark character. I just loved him. Question 9 is quite similar. It's what is your newest favorite character? And I'm going with a book that I am currently reading right now. I am halfway through it. It's really weird. It's really wonderful, fantastic, dark, gritty, everything that I like in a book. And I'm talking about Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk, and the character of Tyler Durden is just, wow, I love this dude. He is such a mysterious character. I'm still not sure I even know him that well. I think that's the point, that you feel like you know him, but do we really know him? He's just such a question mark of a character. I love a character like this. Question 10 is a book that made you cry, and well, I don't usually cry with books. The last time I really ugly cried with a book was with Dobby's death from Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, so that was a long time ago. But a book that was definitely very sad and sentimental and really poignant was The Enchanted by Renee Denfold. Question 11 is a book that made you happy, and I went with I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. Enchanting, charming, nice, wonderful. Question 10 is what is your favorite book to film adaptation that you saw this year? And this is the easiest question of the tag because it has to be Room by Emma Donoghue. I saw the movie first and I loved it. I loved it so much that I read the novel and I started investigating about Room, and that just became a big thing in my life, and I eventually wrote a paper about Room, both the book and the movie, and I presented that paper at the Mexican Society of Psychoanalysis here in Mexico City, and this book has just taken up such a big part of my year, as well as the movie. They're great. Question 13 is what is your favorite video that you have done so far this year? And this one is a thinker. I couldn't really come up with one. I just didn't give this a lot of thought. I think if I had to choose one that I thought was particularly interesting to me, that would be the review / discussion video that I made on A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, in which I discussed why this book could be so polarizing as it is, and why I really adored it, and why I think some people really hated it with good reason. But eventually I proposed this idea of trying to look at Hanya Yanagihara's work more as a fairy tale than a novel based on a story that could have happened, if that makes sense. I thought that video, I really liked it. It was interesting, and I stand by what I said. I think A Little Life is some sort of weird, dark fairy tale, and that's how I read it, and that's why I loved it. Question 14 is what is the most beautiful book or books that you have bought so far this year? And I have two that just stand out, and one of them is Speak Easy by Catherine M. Valente. This book is not only really beautiful, but it's also a limited edition, and right here, on the first page, well, at the end papers, it's Catherine M. Valente's signature, and it says, this special signed edition is limited to 1,250 numbered copies. This is copy number 976, and yeah, it's just a very valuable object altogether. It was expensive as fuck, let me tell you, but it was worth it. And the other one that I think is particularly beautiful and big, hardback with images and pictures and extra material is The Age of Insight. This is the quest to understand the unconscious in art, mind, and brain from Vienna 1900 to the present by Eric R. Kendall. And this is just a beautiful nonfiction book about many things that I adore, such as the history of the psychoanalytical movement back in Vienna 1900, 20th century, and neuroscience and art history, Gustav Klimt. It's just wonderful. And question 15 is a look into the future, which is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And of course, I have several. I mean, who doesn't? I have a huge, insane, ambitious TBR that is just ungodly. But I have selected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books that I think I should have to kill myself by the end of the year if I haven't read this. And they are All the Birds Singing by Evie Wilde. This is a new one. 10th of December by George Saunders. This is a collection of short stories. I've been dying to read George Saunders because Stripped Cover Lit, the channel Stripped Cover Lit, have made reviews on several of the short stories in this collection, and I just fall in love with the reviews. I really want to read it. Vegetarian by Han Kang. Swamplandia by Karen Russell. True Grit by Charles Portis. The Dumb House by John Burnside, and last but not least, The Beautiful Bureaucrat by Helen Phillips. And that's it, guys. Thank you for joining me on this tag. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next video.